Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful one wherever you are. And as you pop in, just say hello and let me know that you're here as I get everything set up. All right, one more. Here we go. All right, it says I'm live. Let me make sure that it is correct. Mm-mm-mm. And if you're here, make sure you let me know that you can actually hear me because I was having some issues with my, well, I don't see it there. Hold on. Hmm. Okay, let me pop out. Let me try it again. Hopefully I am live. Hmm. Okay, it has. All right, give me one more second while I check on this because normally it shows. So let me just want to make sure that I'm not just here all by myself. Hmm. Oh my goodness, hold on. Delete. Bear with me just a moment. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I'm just trying to make sure that I've got everything live in the right place and it's not cooperating. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with this. And if it's not live or all it's supposed to be, I'll just share the recording later. How about that? So good morning, and welcome to the Stand Out and Stand Up and Stand Out community. That's where this originates from. But I know you're over on Instagram. And anyone who's watching the replay. All right. Am I still live? Can you hear me and see me right? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. All right. So as I typically do, I go out for a walk in the morning with the dog several times during the day, but my morning walks seem to always bring up some kind of thought process that I want to work through. And so this morning, I had kind of a funny observation come up on my walk. And so I just got a question for you. Have you ever noticed that the first couple of days you're on a vacation, the going there, you're excited. The first couple of days, it feels like everything is so wide and spacious. You've got time, you've got so much you want to do. And then somewhere, if you're there for a week, somewhere around day 4, your brain starts doing some math about how much longer it is before you go back to real life, right? So it's like you're still in paradise, but your mind is already packing the suitcase. That has happened to me so many times. How about you? And so here's kind of why I'm bringing this up because these ideas and stuff that come to me, I always feel like they have some kind of connection to my internal things that are going on, business things. And so I always try to connect them. So The thing is, we do this exact thing in business. Sorry. So if you've ever had this experience, go ahead and drop me in the comments and let me know that you know what I mean on vacation or in life. Excuse me. And so, here, let me get a sip of my coffee. And I think I was probably thinking about this a little bit because my mama and my brother had just gone on a 14-day cruise, and I was taking them to the airport and then picking them up afterwards. And they were really excited about it and they loved it. But even with the 14 days, the countdown energy still. And so as I was thinking about all this morning on my walk, all right, just checking. All of a sudden, it seemed like I disappeared. So hopefully, you can still hear me and see me. Um, so, like I said, that's what fascinated me. And it's not about whether you're ungrateful, because we're always grateful when we're on vacations and things, right? And it's not about whether you're doing it wrong. It's just how humans are wired. So when something feels abundant, we just relax into it, like the beginning of the vacation, the start of your business. But then when something starts feeling finite, we start managing it. And managing it's where pressure starts sneaking in. So I'd like to ask, because I know I've got a couple of people here that are watching, or a few people that are commenting. Um, where do you see countdown mode the most in your life? Maybe vacations, weekends, birthdays, money, business deadlines. I mean, I know I'll do it sometimes on the weekends, right? It's like, oh, I'm right in the middle of doing something. I'll think, oh, tomorrow I've got all this on my agenda. And it's like, then my brain will shift to the agenda stuff instead of focusing on the moment. And that's what I'm looking at, is focusing on the moment. All right, let me hold on a second. Let me see if this is actually active now. Hmm. Still not showing, so I don't know. All right, so thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you. So, where was I? Where was I? So, I want to name this thing that we do on vacations, weekends, business, and everything. It's really called countdown mode, right? Can you relate? And it's when the mind starts tracking what's left instead of experiencing what's here. And, I know I've had this experience um, on vacations to where the last day, it's like I'm mentally processing the trip home. I'm processing, I want to do these things and get these done so that I can start packing. And especially on a cruise, because the night before you got to pack all your stuff. So you're trying to figure out what time you're going to have dinner, get back to your room, go ahead and pack, put the suitcase outside so that they'll pick that up. And it's like suddenly that last day feels like just an entry point into the go home, right? And that's kind of what I'm talking about, that countdown mode. And in your life and business, it can sound a little bit like I'm running out of time. I've only got so much time to get this done. In your business, it could be, I should be further by now. How many of us have said that? Or I need to hurry to get to this next thing. I don't have enough time. And if I don't figure it out soon, I'm in trouble. And notice countdown mode doesn't always look frantic. Sometimes it looks like overthinking, or maybe it's freezing in place, not knowing what to do. Sometimes it looks like overworking. And countdown mode isn't a time problem, it's a safety strategy because your mind thinks if I track it, I can control it. If I can control it, I won't regret it. And if I won't regret it, I'll feel safe. And I'd love to know, do you tend to respond to pressure by rushing, freezing, or over prepping? And if you do any of those, I want you to either put rush, freeze, or prep in the comments and just kind of give me an idea of where you're at with this. Now, even if you're watching the replay, you can pop in and put your comment in there because I would love to know. And I do come back, and I'm getting better about it. For a while there, I didn't come back and look at the comments because I was so busy. There you go, right? I was busy. And I'm doing better about that now. So I promise I will come back and look at the comments. So this is how I want to talk a little bit about how it shows up in your business. And now let's bring this into business, like I said, because this is we start this in the Stand Up and Stand Out community. And most of the people that are in the community or follow me are entrepreneurs and in general entrepreneurs, right? So this is where we practice showing up. So countdown mode in business often shows up as posting with urgency instead of clarity, or launching from a panic feeling instead of power. It's a very different feeling. Trying to cram 10 actions into one day, all you list people, questioning your message because the results aren't instant. We've all done that, I believe. Or comparing yourself to people who are in a completely different season. And I've had conversations lately with several different entrepreneurs, and that was one of the things that was plaguing them. And it sometimes plagues me too. Why are they getting those results? But then I look back and reframe it. So let's go ahead and reframe these, okay? So some of you are not behind, you're building capacity. Because as we build capacity for what we can hold, what we hold becomes bigger, right? Some of you are not late. You're in the becoming stages. You're becoming the person who can handle all the things that you want in your life. Remember, we don't just suddenly, poof, can handle anything that comes up. I mean, no matter what you're doing, there are learning processes and things that you have to do to get to the level of being able to not only bring in certain things, but to handle it once you get it, because it's a big thing. Some of you are not stuck. You're actually standing on the edge of your next level. Whew. So the problem is countdown mode makes you act like you're already failing. Think about that. So I'd like to ask you, what's the sentence your countdown mode repeats the most? And just kind of put that in the comments. It is true. It is true. Yes. So what's the sentence your countdown mode repeats the most? Drop that in the comments. No shame. We're just naming it to tame it. So what I'd like to do as a reframe is let's tap into day one energy. So here's the shift I want us to practice, okay? Stop living like it's day 4 when you're still on day 1. So we talked about day 1 energy just a moment ago about being on vacation, but um, when you're, hold on, I just lost my notes. Hold on. Give me just a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, so day 1 energy is you create from presence. You focus on the next true step. You don't demand proof before you move. And you treat consistency like devotion, not punishment. Day 1 energy isn't lazy, it's actually clean. It doesn't waste energy arguing with time. So day 4 says, I need a whole new plan. Ah, I can talk to you on Messenger, please. Some questions in my mind, so please reply my message. Well, right now I'm here, so if you're messaging me on the call, I can do that, but not in Messenger. Day 4 says I need a whole new plan. Day 1 says, what is the next clean action? So I've got a little guided exercise for you. So we're going to do a little bit of reset together. So you can do this sitting right where you are. Now, whether you're here live, and thank you for being here, or you're actually watching the replay, come along and do this with us, and then give us a little something in the comments and see how it went for you, okay? So step 1, I want you to think of one place you feel you're in countdown mode lately. Now, that could be business, money, relationships, your body, your time, your goals. And then what's the story with that? Could it be I'm running out of time, I'm behind, it has to happen now? So just name it. Now, we're going to flip that and we're going to switch it to, I still have time. I mean, when you think about it, when are you out of time? When you're dead. Up until then, you've got time. You've got time, right? I'm in season. We all have different seasons of life and business, and just recognize that your season is yours, right? And I can always take the next true step. I'm building something real. Beautiful, right? And then I want you to choose one clean next step. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the clean next step without rushing it? That's the big thing, without rushing it. Not the whole plan, not the whole staircase, just the next step. And hold on, I'm going to share an affirmation in just a moment. All right, so let me pull it up on and put it on the banner. So give me a second. All right, here is our affirmation. I don't rush what's good. I meet this moment fully and I move with clean intention. Now say it again. I don't rush what's good. I meet this moment fully and I move with clean intention. Now put that on your sticky note, the index card, the screensaver in your phone. Put it on a piece of paper, stick it to the fridge, put it on your mirror with a chalk marker, but put it somewhere that you're reminded today that rushing doesn't mean you're productive. I don't rush what's good. I meet this moment fully and I move with clean intention. Whew. Doesn't that feel good? All right, so now let's go ahead and I'm going to share the journal prompt. Let's see, I think I need to take this out. I think it's a little long. Let me make sure it shows up. Ah, perfect. Okay, this is the journal prompt. Where in my life or business am I acting like I'm already almost out of time? And then what changes when I choose a day one mindset instead? Mm. So, as I always recommend that you have a notebook or a journal. I know a lot of people in the group, they have a journal that's specifically for these affirmation and journal prompts. And so put the date, put the affirmation in the journal prompt, and then just put your journal down and then set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. And in that time, you're just going to sit in silence. You've already read as you've written out your affirmation and your journal prompt. And then as you're sitting in silence, you're just going to focus on your breath. You're going to either count the breaths, just listen to the breaths, and you're going to notice, especially if you're new to sitting in silence, your mind's going to start wandering all over the place. And that's normal. But as soon as you notice it, you bring it back to your breath. And one of the things that helps me, if I'm going to share, is that sometimes if I feel like I've got so much on my mind that I keep getting distracted, then I'll start labeling sounds that I hear. Like I hear somebody doing their leaf blowing or whatever outside. I hear the hum of my computer. I've got a copper bowl with chimes in it that I can hear upstairs. So there are things that I can hear because your brain cannot process two thoughts at the same time. So that just by bringing that into the actual physical sounds, you're coming back into this present state. And in that present state, your subconscious mind is actually working through all of this. And you don't even have to be thinking about the affirmation in the journal prompt. All you have to do is quiet your mind by focusing on the sounds or your breath. And every time you notice that it's wandering around, you just bring it back to the present moment. And then when the timer goes off, you pick up your pen, you pick up your pencil, your journal, your notebook, and then you just brain dump everything that comes up. So, where in my life or business am I acting like I'm already almost out of time? And if you're like most people, most entrepreneurs, there's a lot of them, right? Because one thing about entrepreneurs, they wear a lot of hats and they have a lot of balls in the air because they're juggling all the time. And that's what I want to bring us back into a space where things feel smoother. That it doesn't feel like things are just like one of the old cartoons. I don't know if you remember them, where they have the dishes and the dishes are all piled up and they're just kind of walking around and they're trying to get somewhere without dropping any of the dishes. And that's how we go through life as an entrepreneur a lot of times. And I want us to come into presence. So, where in your life or business are you acting like you're already almost out of time? And then, after you've brain dumped as much as you can there, what changes when I choose a day one mindset instead? And what would that look like for you? So, with this in mind, what would you do differently this week if you weren't being chased by time? What are you trying to force that needs consistency instead? And where are you demanding certainty before you take the next step? Because, whew, take the next step. What would clean intention look like for you today? One post, one outreach, one offer mention, one boundary exercised. So, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay, tell me your clean next step in one sentence. I'll celebrate it. Everybody else will celebrate it. And it will help you, and I will help you simplify it if it seems to be too big. So here's what I want you to remember. Let me get over here and see if there's any more questions there. Urgency can make you move. Presence makes you powerful. And if you catch yourself today, or any day really, in countdown mode, don't judge it. Just reset it. Now, drop a heart or drop your favorite emoji if you're choosing day one energy today, because I would love to know. Because I'm telling you, day one energy will change things. So one of the things that I want to add is there are 3 types of countdown mode. So you ready? There's the sprinter. They rush, they cram for things, they overwork. And there's the freezer. They start avoiding things. They'll sit and scroll endlessly, and then they'll delay what they wanted to do in life or business. And then there's the perfectionist. They over prep, they overthink, and their ship never leaves the harbor. They never get started. So, what is the cost of being in countdown mode? One of the things is it stills your creativity. It can actually make you a little bit brittle, a little hard around the edges because you're dealing with disappointment all the time, right? It can make you inconsistent, and inconsistency is a biggie, right? And it can actually, over time, make you resent your business. So how do we build day one as a habit? So I've got a daily ritual, like a 2-minute thing. You can say, I still have time. One clean step. Done is devotion. So this would be your mantra. I still have time. Just spend some time with this. One clean step. And done is devotion. If you're doing those 3 things, it's inevitable to be successful. All right. So I'm hoping that as you're watching today live and as you're in the replay, that you have actually gotten a chance to respond in the comments. And like I said, I will come back and watch those and give you some ideas and interact a bit with you, because that's what's fun. I love doing this. I love being here with you. And so I'm grateful once again to be here and sharing some of my little nuggets of things that happen as I'm out walking in the mornings and what all it brings up. And I hope it was helpful for you. And most of all, I want you to remember that life is delicious. Make sure you savor each and every bite. And I will see you soon. Mwah.